KP4MD AI6DG.
Hello, AI6DG. This is KP4MD. Go ahead.
I was going to ask about the YouTube channel, but I guess I found it. I see it just started streaming. I just got a new radio and I don't have the new cable set up for it yet, so I'm going to be a passive viewer. But I wanted to check in and say hi. AI6DG, back to net.
Hey, QSL. We're going to start the net right now. Good evening. This is Carol, Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta, your net control operator for the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 MHz in Sacramento. River City Arcs members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the net control by saying break break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before I continue. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
K6HUH.
AI6DG.
Okay, I have AI6DG and K6HUH. Any other check-ins for the slow scan net? Okay, nothing heard. Very good evening to everyone. Maybe we might have some more check-ins later on. And I guess the first station that would be able to perhaps send a picture would be Hank, K6HUH. We are using Martin 1. If you'd like to go ahead and send something, we're ready to copy. Over.
If I'm still trying to set this thing up, go ahead and go to the other guy.
Okay, QSL. Well, Joel said he didn't have any pictures to send, so I'll go ahead and send a picture then. This is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta, and we'll pick a picture to send. And here we go. And this is going to be Martin 1, as I said.
6KL.
Okay, we'll go over to AI6DG. Joel, how did you copy that picture? Over?
I don't have a working setup at the moment. I'm just hanging on. My old ICOM 2800 that I love started turning on after a day or two of being on and then not turning back on. It would turn back on if I disconnected power to it and tried the next day, but I needed something that worked. So I picked up a Yaesu FTM 300, which I'm starting to get used to. I'm starting to like it. But not only being a different brand, it's also uses a different data port. So when I ordered the radio, I ordered the data cable but with nothing attached to it. So I'm looking at the wiring diagram and my old cable and this new cable with bare wires at the end of it and trying to figure out how to reconnect things. So maybe by next week I'll have something working, but not this week. And in the meanwhile, I'm just on the YouTube channel watching, and that's kind of cheating because I see the picture before you send it. But I'm assuming this is a straight key, a little QRP transmitter, or maybe it's a watt meter. Oh, and 4 double A's in the background. That must be the power for it. Unless it's a keyer. Tone keyer for practicing CW, but why would you have the watt meter there? Back to net AI6DG.
Okay, thank you for that. We also have W6 Bravo Sierra actually giving feedback through our Discord chat. But I don't see anyone in the chat, live chat there on YouTube. Hi out there to Tom, and thank you for sending the picture that you copied there. Over to Hank and see, how did you copy that? K6HUH? This is KP4MD, over.
Copy. I can hear the signal on the radio, but I'm not seeing it in NSS TV. I was before, and now I'm not. I don't know what happened.
Okay, yeah, the most common cause of that is the option selections for your sound card devices sometimes get scrambled when you start the program up or you turn your computer on or off. So you want to make sure that you click on the menu at the top bar which says option and choose set up MMSS TV, and then you go over to the MISC miscellaneous tab, and under sound card make sure that you have the in and out audio channels selected properly there. So that's probably what happened. Okay, so I'm sorry you didn't copy that. Anywho, I don't know, are you ready to perhaps try and send a picture now, Hank, or did you need to check that the sound card settings? Over.
Card settings. Looks like receive is at 12, transmits at 8. Priority is highest. Source mono. Clock is 11:025 hertz. Everything looks okay. I just don't see the signal.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
I'm going to reiterate what Carol said about going to the miscellaneous tab and making sure you have the right sound card device for in and out selected. But I'd like to add that I've seen it quite frequently where it says the right thing, but something's changed and it's even though it's selected right, Windows is confused, and you have to unselect it, hit OK, and then go back in and select the. By unselect, I mean select some other device, and hit OK, then go back in and select the correct one again to get it to start working again. Back to Net AI6DG.
I don't even see an ID on here that I can select. It says sound card, but there's nothing there that tells me what sound card or where it's coming from or where it is.
So there are no entries listed under in and out when you click on the down arrow?
Down arrow where? There's no down arrow.
Are you in the setup SSTV window and have selected the miscellaneous tab so that sound card is listed in the upper left?
There is no sound card listed. I have 3 tabs. It says receive, transmit, and miscellaneous. When I click on miscellaneous, there's no sound card in there.
Does the main window at the title bar up on top say SSTV version 1.13A?
Oh, version 1.08.
Didn't even know there was a 0A version. Do you have internet available right now so that you can go download another version, the new version? Well, it's not new because it hasn't been updated in quite a few years, but I think you need to go get 1.13A.
Okay, let me do that. I don't want to tire everybody else. Let's go ahead and if I get any joy, I'll come back online. K6.
Back to Net. Sorry for taking so much time, Carol.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. No, that's not a problem. I mean, Hank is the only other station with ability to transmit pictures here right now anyway. And he did get on last week. Last week, he was on and he was sending out tones, so I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, that 1.0 must be the very first version of this that came out. But if you Google SSTV and download the current version, I think perhaps the old version may not be compatible with your Windows operating system. I can't say for sure, but whatever you were doing last week, it was actually sending tones out. Well, let me just go ahead and describe the picture to begin with. That is a picture of it's a straight key, and that little green printed circuit board is the Pixie transceiver. It's a minimalist type of CW transceiver, crystal controlled on one frequency. It puts out like about 100 milliwatts, and it's being powered by that battery pack. You see 4 AA batteries, but actually it's a pack that holds 8, so it's putting out about something close to 12 volts to power that. And that's an Oak, I think it's an Oak Research QRP watt meter, the WM2, and it's showing when I'm pressing on the key that it's putting out 100 milliwatts. The key, by the way, is a J38. It's a Japanese J38, and that's a brass base key that has the ball bearing pivots. And I bought that key back in the 1970s. It's my first really, really good telegraph key. Had one of the plastic ones before that, but this is the one that's lasted all the time, and it's still quite a workhorse. Any other comments about this picture before we go on? This is KP4MD. Okay, nothing heard, so I guess I'll go ahead and just send another picture because I'm the only one set up for that right now. I'll see load a picture. Okay, I think that was it. This is KP4MD. We'll come and see if Hank copied anything of that picture. K6HUH, this is KP4MD. Okay, K6HUH, did you copy anything there of the picture? This is KP4 Mike Delta. Okay, yeah, I think that Hank is still trying to set up his software. Joel, any comments on this picture? AI6DG, this is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta.
Another thing that just occurred to me for Hank is if it doesn't have audio selection settings, maybe it's using the default audio to Windows system default devices, so maybe he somehow accidentally changed his default devices. Anyway, yeah, I'm on the YouTube site and I'm looking at the picture, and it's a gentleman standing next to a row of racks. Looks like it's 3 racks. He's got his hand out, kind of tapping looks like an old style clock. Looks like it's a 12-hour, not a 24, but radio equipment, lots of dials, knobs, old style. I'd like to see how big the tubes are inside of it. Looks like there's a table surface in front of it with some books, maybe a key. Can't tell if it's a straight or a vibraplex. A bug. I guess that's a bug. Is that what a vibraplex is a bug? Anyway, maybe a headset in the background. He's wearing an ID card of some kind on his lapel and some sort of badge around his neck. This may be some sort of convention event or something, although this looks like a place that would be like on an old military ship museum type of thing. Back to net, AI6DG.
Okay, AI6DG and the Slow Scan TV Net. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. And also Tom, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra, did copy the picture and he posted it on our on our Discord chat server, which is kind of splitting things up here. And I see, thank you very much for saying hi, Joel, on the YouTube live chat. This was a picture that I took aboard the SS Red Oak Victory, which is a World War II cargo ship that was built in Richmond, California. And right now it is anchored there as a museum ship. I was there with a group of ham radio operators who were invited to operate the radio station there back in February. This was before we actually had the lockdowns for the pandemic, although we had heard about the pandemic at that time. And this gentleman here is he's a docent. He is a volunteer radio operator. He's a ham himself, but he also has a commercial radio telegraph operator's license to be able to operate the station on the low frequency maritime frequency, and he actually communicates with another ship that's anchored in San Francisco from time to time. They do have crystals in there for ham radio bands too, and I did operate that for a while. That is a bug, a vibraplex, and he was giving a little talk and describing the transmitter. That is the actual World War II vintage transmitter there, and there is it's all vacuum tubes. There's also a vacuum tube receiver, which you can't see the front of that because it's behind his arm. And it was quite an experience getting on there and actually operating this I guess it's an antique by now. Yeah, if anything's over 50 years, it's considered to be antique, wireless, and it was quite impressive. The transmission line was a heavy bar of copper that came out of the top of this thing and went up to the antennas, and they had a big old neon light bulb attached on there that would light every time you pressed the key down. So you saw that little neon light flash on and off with the transmission. It was quite impressive. So that's what that is. The call sign of that station is K6YVM, and you can look that up on the QRZ.com. There's more information about Kilo 6 Yankee Victor Mike. Do we have any other comments about this picture?
I just keep looking at it and wondering what I'm looking at. I noticed the two big knobs above his hand. I would guess those are grid and plate adjustments for the transmitter. So that middle rack, I would guess, is the transmitter. And I'm looking at that huge monster handle on the near rack up in the upper right corner. that looks like a master power switch of some kind. These are just guesses. But I imagine the tube inside is some very large glass envelope tube, but they didn't have ceramics in that era, did they?
No, actually, it was not a ceramic tube. I believe they had a pair of tubes in parallel, and this transmitter only ran like it was in the range of about 100 watts. It wasn't very, very powerful. So it was something probably similar to a pair of 807s. Over.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the tubes to know what an 807 is, but I'm imagining it's one of those big glass ones where, well, not a basketball, but bigger than a softball. um, yeah, fun.
Yeah, the 807 is not a very large tube. I'd say it's probably about 6 inches high, and it's a pentode, and it has a plate cap on it. And yeah, I think it has just 5 pins coming out of the bottom to go into the tube socket. And I actually had it. My first CW transmitter used a pair of 807s. It was a Globe Chief CW transmitter, and that had 90 watt. It was rated at 90 watts input power. So it was something along that lines. This is not a super powerful transmitter, but apparently you didn't need a very big powerful transmitter on a ship like that because they had pretty good propagation over the salt water, and I guess they kept the noise pretty much down. They didn't have all of the electronics we have now that generate so much noise, and they did have the receiver in there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was specifically designed to have very, very low noise and to be very sensitive. So let's see, is Hank back, K6HUH, this is KP4MD, over.
Okay, I got a waterfall. I didn't get it in time to get that last picture, but I do have one ready to transmit. I could try.
Okay, yeah, why don't you go ahead, Hank? We'll stand by and um, be looking for your picture, over.
Click on transmit. Do I just click on transmit?
Yeah, you click on TX, yes.
How do I get my picture up in the transmit box?
Okay, what you need to do is you need to just double click on the picture that you've loaded into the window, and it should bring it up into the transmit box.
Hey, you forget so much. I haven't done this in a year. Okay, here it comes, people. Martin 1. Sorry about that. Did you get anything?
Waiting for Carol, but yes, we got it.
KL.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to click another button here to get my voice through. This is KP4MD. Good copy. It came through okay on Scotty. Had the RX mode over in auto, so it locked on to your mode, and got the K6HUH MMSSTV version 1.13 banner on the top. So I'm glad you're updated to the current version. CQSS TV and the K6HUH on the template over this picture, and it shows you looking down a very long straight road to a horizon with looks like some mountains in the far distance, and looks like you have a windshield of a motorcycle there in the foreground. The picture came through quite well. There's some pixelation, of course. That's probably due to a little bit of the pave pause interference. Anyway, um, did you say, Joel? Well, Joel, you're watching it through the YouTube. So we'll just take a standby. Is there anybody else that's copying through the repeater the pictures here? This is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta.
Hello, Carol. KO6KL.
Okay, yeah, we have KO6KL. That's Brad. Thank you for checking into the net here. And Brad, did you get that picture? Did you receive that picture down your way? Over?
Yeah, it was pretty solid. A little bit of noise in there, the popping from the Air Force radar or whatever. I didn't notice it so much when he was talking, but when the SSTV came on, I saw it, and a little bit of slant to the left at the bottom. But all in all, pretty good picture. I can see a clear road ahead for him. Yeah, affirmative. That's Route 2 up in Montana, heading home from a trip to Hurley, Wisconsin on my motorcycle a couple of years ago.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'd like to know, does anyone else have a comment on this, Joel, AI6DG?
That hasn't already been said.
Okay, QSL, very good. Well, now that Brad is here, I wonder, Brad, if you have a picture you'd like to share with us. KO6KL, this is KP4 Mike Delta.
Do we have a mode that we all like to use, or is it dealer's choice?
Yeah, well, we do try to use the Martin one, but if you have to use another mode, as long as we have the RX mode in auto, we should be able to follow you. Over.
All right, here we go. KO6KL.
I turned the audio up a little bit there, the first 15 seconds or so. Hopefully overcame most of the noise. Kilo 6KL.
Okay, this is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. Very good. Not a problem. You have a very solid picture with hardly any pixelation whatsoever. None of the interference from the paved pause. Let's go up to Hank first. Hank, how did you copy that? K6HUH. This is KP4MD.
Perfect picture. Perfect picture. Looks real good. Tasmanian devil and a Bugs Bunny, and I got one of those Tasmanian devils. It's a Siamese cat. K6HUH.
Okay, yeah. And I see I'm looking on the Discord server here, and we have Jojo KN6HTD who uploaded a picture, and Tom W6 Bravo Sierra also uploaded part of a picture there. And yep, there's Bugs Bunny with the Tasmanian devil, and there's a little insert there in the lower right-hand corner with a little copy of Hank's last picture. So good. I wanted to ask Brad, are you following us on the YouTube live feed as well? Over.
Yeah, I do have the YouTube going, but you mentioned Discord, and I don't know what that is, so I'm looking back at the River City page trying to figure it out.
Okay, yeah, the Discord is just it's a chat service, and we do have a link to it on our homepage. It's just a little, what do you call it, a little logo you click on, and it'll bring you to the Discord server. And it's just a place for us to do instant messaging and to send pictures as well. Okay, very good. And okay, you're doing very well. I just wanted to tell you that, Brad, from where you are down in Modesto. So let's see. We have. I guess it's my turn to send a picture. We'll first take a standby if we have any other stations who want to join us on the slow scan net. This is KP4 Mike Delta with the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net. Okay, nothing heard. I'm going to go ahead and send a picture now. Is it my turn, I think? I guess. Unless you, well, actually, I've already sent, just that, I've already sent 2 pictures. Hank, did you have another picture for us?
Were you asking me?
Yeah, Hank, K6HUH, over.
The picture. Coming at you.
Okay, that picture came through quite well. I don't know if anybody else thinks that the audio level might just be a little hot, but it came through pretty well. I see a picture of your Alecraft KX3 transceiver, and it's sitting on top of a multi-RX. I'm not sure what that machine is. Um, it's maybe some kind of data controller or something. It's the machine that it's on top of has two volume controls on the right side, and it's got two rows of LEDs, a green row of 6 LEDs on top, and then red LEDs below that. But I can read what it says, multi-RX. Let me see if I open the RX viewer, I might expand it a little bit more. Now I just see numbers. I think it's 3230 multi-RX, some kind of receiver uh, device. Anywho, I'll turn it over to Brad and see what you copied on that. KO6KL, this is KP4MD, over.
KO6KL. Yeah, I copied. Maybe try the audio just a little lower. It seems like maybe you saturated it, the repeater, and if you turn it up and it doesn't get any louder, that's all you need usually. But it came through pretty good. I'm guessing the device underneath there might be some kind of an audio switcher. It's got some of them high-end buttons that don't go bad over time. And one of the nice Electrocraft radios on the top there. Out of my price range, though. KO6KL.
K6HUH. What that device is on the bottom is if you have multiple receivers and only one speaker, you can send them all through this box, and then you have the choice of selecting the receiver that you want to listen to, and you can simultaneously record off of other receivers or whatever. I picked that up at one of our swap meets, Carol. And by the way, Carol, I was going to ask you on the KX3, did you know that you can hear sight tone, your own voice, while you're transmitting?
Oh yes, yeah, I've done that. I usually operated with a computer headset, and you can monitor your own voice. You can also use it as a voice keyer, record voice messages, which is great if you're in a contest, so you don't have to say CQ all over, thousands of times during the 24 hours of a contest. It's really neat. I've used it on voice, on CW. I've also used it on digital. It has a PSK built in, but hardly anybody uses PSK31 anymore. It has the teletype, but I really don't operate teletype, so I've used it on JT65 with a separate computer. And it works very well for all of those modes. This is an excellent radio, and I think that's one of my best investments. Actually, that's probably my top performing receiver of all the radios that I have here. Over.
I feel the same way. Going on the 10-meter net using this radio with anywhere from 4 to 10 watts, and it seems like almost everybody can hear me. It's just amazing. It's probably the best radio I've got. K6HUH, back to network control, and we'll look for another one.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing that. And since I've already sent two pictures and you've done two, I guess we'll turn it over to Brad, see if he wants to send a second picture, and if he has any comments on this. KO6KL, this is KP4MD.
Now, I'm about commenting it out this late at night. Almost my bedtime here, but I could probably squeeze another picture in here.
Yeah, that's fine. But let's just take a standby to see if Joel. I didn't have Joel comment on his picture if he wanted to. A6DJ, go ahead, Joel. KP4MD.
I don't know what the audio device exactly on the bottom is, but I recognize those switches. Those are 20 or 30 years, whatever that device is, it's 20 or 30 years old, I think. I haven't seen those switches on anything newish. And I'm wondering if that knob is stock to the KX3. I'm not that familiar with the KX3 since I don't have one. I have a KX2, but that doesn't look like a type of knob that would be on an Elecraft. I'm kind of curious if it's stock or not. I'm on the N6NA.org website. I'm looking at that Discord link, and it seems to want to open up a web browser. I don't remember what my login is to log into the web browser app. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it to open up in my app. I mean, I have the Discord app on my computer. Is it is it a closed Discord server, or can I search for it and join it?
Gee, I don't know. W6 Bravo Sierra Tom is the one who set it up, and I think it may be actually a closed server for club members who've signed up for it. But that's neither here nor there. There's just a little bit of a text chat going on there with the other people that haven't signed on to the YouTube chat. Okay, thank you very much for that feedback. Let's go over then to Brad for your last picture. KO6KL, this is KP4MD, over.
Thank you, Carol. Real good to hear everybody on tonight. I'll just drop one more picture here and then probably walk away and leave the radio on with the webcam and stuff. It's valleymedia.org/SSTV. And I'm going to send the next one in Mike Papa 73, which is my preference. I think the quality is a little better.
Okay, that picture came through very well here. I see, I guess that's the KX2. It looks a little different than the KX3. It's a smaller and doesn't have all the buttons on the sides. Yeah, I think that you had a question, Brad, about the knob on the KX3. Yeah, it does have the spinner knob. No, that is the KX3. I'm sorry, that's an inset of Hank's picture there, and you have, of course, Spock and Kirk from Star Trek there. River City, UHF, DE KO6KL, 7312, River City, DE KO6KL. How did you copy that, Hank? K6HUH, this is KP4 Mike Delta.
Got some horizontal lines on the lower left-hand corner that they look like scan lines on a TV almost. They're only about a quarter of an inch long, but they're there. The rest of the picture is good. I don't see any pixelation or anything, but it looks almost like Spock and Kirk are pointing to my KX3. Is that right?
Yeah, AI60G, Joel, do you have any comments on this picture? Over.
Aspect ratio seems a little off. Other than that, looked like it was a good reception. Just a few pixels. Yep, good. Back to net AI60G.
Yeah, it looks like the background picture was stretched out a little bit horizontally. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about this, Brad, if you would. KO6KL, this is KP4MD.
Sharp eye there. Yes, the aspect ratio of the television characters was monkey with. I typically monkey with the original pictures quite a bit to get them to fit into that tiny little box, and getting the right aspect ratio to get it to fill the box completely is part of the effort to really make it have a good impact at that lower resolution. And then I probably used the feature of the history file with an ellipse frame and hand traced the frame of the history file around their fingers, so it appears their fingers actually on top of it, which is, I haven't quite got that down, but it's kind of fun. It looks pretty good when it comes through. KO6KL.
I was referring to the background Spock Kirk picture being a little bit off aspect ratio wise.
I don't know what the background is behind them on that. It was I got another one with those two reading Mad Magazine, and I think it was maybe part of that same photo shoot. And they had something else on. It was like a cue card. I think it's a cue card originally they were holding.
Yeah, there was a question on the Discord chat. Did you send that MP73 mode over?
Yes, Mike Papa 73. I used to do a lot more on 80 meters and found that the Mike Papa one tends to come through a little better under marginal conditions for the speed, 73 seconds. It's not bad. On HF, if you're not right on frequency, it tends to shift a little green or red, so that could be a problem if you're not right on frequency, but generally it seems to perform pretty good. Usually you run Mike Papa 115 on 80 meters.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that, Brad. Yeah, my MMS STV RX mode is in auto, so it automatically went over to MP73 and decoded it just fine. Okay, well, we did 2 complete rounds here. We got a total of 6 pictures here this evening, and we're coming up on the hour mark. So I think we'll consider closing the net at this time. Are there any further comments before we close the net? This is KP4 Mike Delta.
Have you tried any of the higher resolutions under MP73?
They're all the same resolution. They just take longer and give you better performance under marginal conditions. So there's like a 175 or something. It's almost as slow as Scotty DX and slightly better performance maybe.
I click on that MP73, I see a lot of different resolutions, all the way up to 640 by 496.
And nobody hardly ever uses that stuff. The only time I ever see anybody use anything in the higher res is the space station, like the PD-160, I think it is, 180. The space station tends to use a really slow one for some reason. I don't know why. They can send a lot more pictures the other way, but you get a little bigger box when it comes through. But generally on HF, it's Scotty 1 and 2 and some Martin 1 and 2 and Robot, which I don't think the performance is really any good on Robot. I prefer the black and white 12 most of the time. I wish there was something in between that, like a higher resolution black and white, like 20 or 25 seconds. I like to turn it over and move fast with fast pictures. So that black and white 12 I really like.
Yeah, okay, this is KP4MD, yeah, we could send a quick one. I'm going to send a quick one here, black and white 12, just for a little demonstration. Here, let's pick a picture. This one here. KP4MD.
USL card came out good.
I didn't get a solid trigger when it started, Carol. Maybe a little more, I don't know, on packet they call it TXD or transmit delay, a little more key time before the picture starts to come out, maybe. Maybe the courtesy beep got that first little bit of header that gets it into the right mode.
Okay, yeah, something like this. Let me try. I do the tone first and then go straight over to transmit.
The second one was better for me, KO6KL.
Okay, well, thank you. It's already past 10 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and secure the net. Thank you to those who participated, K6HUH, Hank, AI6DG, Joel, Brad, KO6KL, and over on the Discord chat, we had Tom, W6BS, we had Jojo, KN6HTD, and on the YouTube chat, we had Nelson, also K6VDU. I want to thank you all for joining us for this session, and we hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is now officially closed at 9:03 p.m. Pacific Time. This is Carol, Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta, wishing you all a good evening, and 7-3.